Well, we've come to the end of the class, and it's graduation time for me, and I believe other people in my class too. I'm really excited to end my bachelor's degree with public speaking, because I feel like I've learned so many new things about nursing that I want to go out and teach people with and equip people with. But being able to be a good public speaker is an important aspect of being able to provide good education. So I want to talk to you about 3 different things and feedback I received from my instructor based on these different types of speeches. We did an informative speech, a motivated sequence speech, and a choice persuasive speech. So the first one, the informative speech, that's a speech that is I think I'm the most comfortable with doing, where you're acting in a teacher role and you're providing knowledge to people. But some of the feedback I received after doing that first speech was things like making sure that I'm using simple language, knowing my audience, use appropriate transition phrases so that my audience knows that I'm moving from one point to the next and that that's smooth for them. And when I get to the end, to make sure that I have a really strong conclusion and that it's cohesive so that my audience members know what my main points were and that sticks with them and that's what they take with them. So once we've gone to the point of informing, we can move on to that place of actually being able to persuade, which is where I really want to be able to move to as a nurse. I want people to make choices and to make changes in their life. So the first type of persuasive speech we did was called a motivated sequence speech. This type of speech uses a human thinking process. So it's very important that all the points in the motivated sequence speech be used in order for a person to be able to actually make decisions and put action into place to make some changes when you're done with the speech. So that was the feedback that I received from that speech, was to make sure that I included all the aspects of it, to hold to that process of it, to be effective, and to remember to persuade my audience. I am not just informing anymore. So finally, the third type of speech that we did was called a choice persuasive speech. So we got to pick between a value, a policy, and a fact. And for myself, this is a place that I really want to be able to be. I want to be able to, again, affect change, and a persuasive speech that goes on value, fact, or policy really allows me as an educator to broaden my horizons on what I actually want to persuade people for. And this is definitely out of my comfort zone, moving into places like changing policy, but that needs to happen. And that's what's really going to be most impactful, I feel, for my role as a nurse. So I'm excited to get some tools to remember how to do that. Some feedback I received from doing this type of speech was to remember to make a really strong opening point so that my audience is drawn in to what I'm doing. And also to remember to use strong transitions. So I keep coming back to those transitions again, so that's obviously something I need to work on a lot more, but I'm happy to have it identified and to know it. So in the future, as I'm writing speeches and I'm thinking about transitions, that's something I'm certainly going to keep trying to apply. So I have been left with some definite tools that I feel have equipped me to be able to go out and be more confident, to be able to affect change in people's lives. And this has been a great class. I've appreciated the knowledge that I've gained from it, the feedback from peers, feedback from an instructor, and it's been good. So I look forward to what I get to do with it from here on out in my career as a nurse. Thanks.